Hello everybody, welcome to Gaming with Raylo. Today we are going to be talking about how to make an anvil and how to make the forge and then how to work the metal on the anvil for your tools and your other things. And what we're going to make today is a saw, and we'll show you some of the neat ways that a saw can be used, but that's probably like the third most important tool is the saw. First is a pickaxe, second hammer, and then third is your saw. And what we're going to do is I'll show you, I've already made these because I've already got everything set up, but to make cobblestone, if you ever need to know, you take cobblestone, you go around the circle like this, you take, and then you put blue clay or fire clay in the middle, and then you makes two cobblestone. And then to make one of those forges, all you have to do is put 7 around in a U shape, and then it makes a forge. And what I'll do is I'll put it down right now. So we have a forge that if you can click it full of fuel. This is full of fuel. This is not full of fuel. And so what we can do is once it's full of fuel, we can take and stack 4 ingots on top. So you have to shift, hold, and you can put those ingots on top. And we'll light that in a few minutes, but right now we'll leave it sitting right there. So the most important thing in this whole process is making an anvil mold. And you have this anvil mold. I'm not going over the clay methods and stuff like that because that's already, everyone should be able to do that. But we want to pour into this anvil. Now it's very important. One of the ones I tried to figure out exactly how much I needed in the and everything else, but it doesn't tell you right away. But once you start pouring, it does tell you the amount that you need. An anvil is 900 units of metal, so you're gonna go ahead and you're gonna need 900 units of metal to make an anvil, just so you're for your future reference. And so what I've got 900 pieces of copper units going in here. So I've got that all warmed up, and what we're going to do is we're just going to pour it, and it's going to make an anvil for us. Now you got to keep pouring. It stops after a little while, so sometimes you have to re-pour. So you want to make sure that you fill it all the way to the top. Make sure it says 900 of 900 units of liquid and your crucible is full. We had one issue where Twisted was doing it, and he actually got he stopped it too soon, and he didn't have anything left in his crucible, but he had like 2 units left to do. So we had to actually make another piece of copper, another 100 copper to put in there, another 5. So just make sure you pour it all the way in, and then it cools. For this video, I'm not going to wait for this to cool. It's going to take a while to cool. I'm just going to grab my anvil, which is a bronze anvil, and we'll talk about how to make the alloys in the next video. So you've got your anvil. The very first one's going to be copper, and now you're going to start to work metal. Well, you know how I said that your hammer is probably your second most important tool? This hammer is going to come into it's very important for the blacksmithing. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a torch, and we're going to light this forge. So we're going to hold the torch down, and you're going to see it glow. It's going to glow red like this, and it's going to start heating up the ingots. So once the ingots are heated up, we're going to place on the place the metal onto the anvil, and then we'll work it with a hammer. And I'll go over the different steps in the hammer once we have the metal all warmed up. And again, it takes a while for it to cool down. It's only at 639, but it is cooling down pretty fast now. And this isn't going to waste, so Maze and Mama need an anvil, so I figure I'll just give it to them when they need it. And so that way it'll save them having to get 900 pieces of copper. So now, alright, so the ingots are bright shiny yellow. So we're going to take one of those off of there, and we're going to shift click it onto the thing, and we're going to pick what we want. Now, there are several different items we can make. We can make some arrowheads, we can make a copper axe head, a chisel, a hammer, hoe, knife blade, some copper plates, which we're going to make in a future episode on how to make lanterns. And then that's a pickaxe, and then you got your prospecting pick, a saw, the scythe head for harvesting crops, a shears for breaking leaves, a shovel, a spearhead, and a sword head. So we're going to make the saw blade. And so you get this lump of iron, and what do I do with it? It's got all these it's got a green little box and everything else and stuff like that. So you hit F while holding the hammer, and it comes up with the options for the hammer. This is a strike blow that everywhere you strike, so if you strike the center or the side of something, it moves it out 3 spaces, or 1 space but 3 wide. This is a 1 single spot away from you. This is to your right, this is towards you, and this is to the left. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the left. And what we're going to do is highlight this one, and we're going to pound on it, see how the metal moves to the right. And so we're going to go like this, and then we're going to go back in and shift it to down, and then we're going to shift to the right, and we're going to bring this metal all the way out to the end. Now remember to keep your hammer in place until it actually makes the piece in the next spot. So we're going to draw it towards us. And now we have all this extra material. We have an extra material here, here, and here, and all across the back. That's the last step, which is to cut it. So we're going to cut here, cut here, cut here. And then we're going to cut across the back. You want to make sure you hold your cursor in the correct spot until after it actually pounds, because you can hit the wrong spot if you jerk your mouse. Alright, and there we have it. We have our first saw. And you might wonder why I say the saw, because, alright, so I know all of you, if you haven't got to this point, have been having a tremendous time with space. The little baskets just don't hold enough. You really need more storage. And so that's where the saw comes in. That's when you can start to make planks. So first things first, you can put saw down here and we can make some planks. Alright? Which is nice, and then you can actually turn into a chest. I almost cried when I made my first chest. The other thing that the saw can do is you can put it in here, and I gotta remember which side to put it. On one of the corners, in the right hand corner, you can actually make the stairs. Now, if you put it to the right, it makes oak slabs, and I think that's the only other option, yeah. So slabs and stairs with the saw, and if you're gonna want to build anything with slabs or stairs, you're gonna need the saw. And that's pretty much it. There's let's go ahead and make one more item, and we're gonna make the shovel because it's something easy we can do real quick. And so we got the shovel, and you see how now that it's got a lot of spaces we can fill in. So we kind of want to use this one, and so we're gonna like pound right here and see how it moved everything around it down 1. And so if I do here, it's gonna do these 4 spots, so that actually saves hammer space. So we're gonna do this corner and then this one. See how it kind of speeds things up and makes it a little bit easier for you. And then there you go, we filled up, and that's the shovel. Really easy to make the shovel, and some of the other ones are harder. The spearhead, which I'll make next, because that's probably what you're going to want to like defend yourself, and the sword. So the spearhead is a little different. Where is it? There it is. So you have to draw the stuff out quite a bit. And so what I like to do is I like to make sure that we're going to draw that out. We'll draw this. And you'll get to the point. I mean, I'm not a proficient in it as 100%, but you get to the point where you can save your hammer strokes, and so it saves the uses of your hammer. So I'm going to draw this out too, and we're going to draw this to the right. And the other thing I'd like to say is if you change positions on the anvil, sorry about that, you can draw it out to the right. So all I have to do is actually twist around. If I wanted to keep the setting on draw right, I can just draw right. And see how that... Oh, we ran out of material, though. Let's see if we have... Nope. So that's one of the things I find with making a spearhead. We're stuck. How do we make it? We're missing one spot. What we're going to do is we're going to cut out the things we don't need. We don't need that one. But you'll notice you still can't do anything. So you really have to watch how you move things, because you might waste material. So that's why I find that using the single on that is... But you can actually take another thing, and we're going to click it on there to add material. Okay? So now then we can use our hammer again. Make sure we have it set to right. And see how it finished the piece for us. So it took us 2 pieces of ingots to make the spearhead, and that's only if you have to use a different metal. I find if you use the single hits on the spearhead, you can make it without using 2 ingots, and that's that's just trial and error and learning how to use the tools. I kind of wanted to show you because I was stuck on that the first time and I really struggled with it. But again, you can add more material if you run out of hammer strokes and you can't seem to draw something. You can just add another ingot to it to finish it up, so you don't waste that whole ingot. I think that's going to be all for today. It's a real quick one, so these are just going to be how to do stuff. If you have any questions or comments, please leave me a message and I'll get back with you. Thank you very much. Have a great day.